guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. We're gonna have hopefully a really good day because we're gonna try to start this Oliver 550. This would be the first start since starting the restoration process. So I've only had this thing running for 1 minute and that was in I don't remember which video, maybe episode number 3, something like that. So what we got to do today before we can turn the key on this thing, we need to get a little bit of gas in. So I've got about 4 gallons of gas. We got to fill up the coolant. So I've got some antifreeze. Also have some power steering fluid for the power steering pump and the reservoir. I also went ahead and off camera, I put on a positive battery terminal. I had the negative on already, but I hadn't put the positive on. So now I've got a positive battery terminal. So shouldn't take too long to get this thing topped off with some fluids. And then we'll pop a temporary battery in there, one that I borrowed off of one of the other vehicles. And let's see if we can get this thing started. I'm pretty excited. It could end gloriously or horribly, I don't know. We'll see. I'm optimistic that I put everything back together right, but man, you never know. It takes one little mishap to not tighten something up correctly or whatever, and you know, you got issues. So let's get started. All right, guess we'll start here. I went with power steering fluid on this instead of transmission fluid, and I don't know if that'll be good or bad. I'll pour some in and I'll check for leaks, and just in case, try to prevent some spillage. And we got her just about emptied here. All right, that's good. And I'm just checking for leaks. I've got I've got the valve off at the carburetor, and I've got the valve off here. I've got the valve off here as well. So let's go ahead and open that valve up. I'm not leaking up here, it doesn't look like, no. So that's good. So let's just fill this bowl up. And hope it doesn't leak. Find out real quick here, because it's totally clean. So there's, I mean, if there's any moisture on it, we know it's leaking. Okay, I don't see anything here right now. So let's go turn on the fuel at the, yeah, nothing, dry. So let's go turn on the fuel at the carburetor. Well, I think we'll hold off on that. Let's turn that on. Let's get the battery in. All right. Big beast of a battery. Man, it may not work. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. Not with the battery tray in. We're gonna have to get a different battery. I'll take the tray out for now, and I think with the tray out, we should be able to slide it in. Yeah, we'll get her slid in there. So at least that'll allow us to give her a start. Let me grab a wrench. All right, that looks sufficient. I've got the battery cable connected, the positive cable connected kind of poorly, just because it's very, very difficult to get in here. The post actually hits this if I try to slide out, so I had to do everything underneath, and it just wasn't a good fit. So I definitely have to get a battery for that. Like I said, I just borrowed that battery anyways. But I think we've got everything right now where we need to be able to try to get it started. So let's go ahead and we're going to get the gas turned on at the carburetor, and then let's give the thing a crank. I do not have the seat on, so I'll throw I don't know, a blanket or pillow or something up on this just so I can sit on it and not, be sitting on the cast iron. So we'll do that right now. Get the fuel turned on there. Yeah, it's filling the bowl up. I can clearly see gas running through it. All right. So we'll run it. We'll try to run it a little bit. I think it'll run. We'll see. Remember, I expect a little bit of smoke because we threw automatic transmission fluid in it just, I don't know, a week and a half ago, something like that. So it's going to have some smoke at the beginning. So that's expected. I have a little disruption in the video. I had realized I didn't have my throttle lever on here, so gotta have that. All right, let's try that again. I think we'll do a little choke this time. Pull out the choke. Throttle maybe. Makes me think timing, but we marked that thing pretty darn good. Definitely does not want to fire right now. Hitting fuel. Yeah, I'm actually dripping a little bit of fuel. Let's see where we're coming. What we're dripping fuel from. We're gonna try it again. And I doubt that had anything to do with it, but I did make a slight adjustment on the carburetor as well. So let's see if that covers it for us. Yeah, it's definitely not. Definitely not wanting to start. Now, let's take a look at those spark plugs. I may have oil soaked those spark plugs. Yeah. So I went ahead and pulled my plugs and cleaned them up a bit, put some heat to them on the propane torch, and hopefully I'm getting plenty of fuel in the cylinders. The cylinders I could put the propane torch in and it had no problem lighting off. So I'm getting plenty of fuel, too much maybe, and I think I may be flooding, so. That just doesn't. doesn't seem right. It fired off before super fast when I hadn't done anything to it. So I've rebuilt the carburetor and a few other things, but still I haven't done a whole lot since then motor-wise. So it should be firing off. So let me check a few things. I'm gonna check for spark. Wondering what my points look like in the, in the months we've been working on the tractor. I've left the points alone. They could have gotten a little bit of rust on them or something, so I'll take a look at those. All right, guys, well, we're gonna give this another shot. It wasn't giving me any spark at all. And so I've cleaned up the terminals on the distributor. The points look fine. They are brand new, but still thought there was a chance they could be rusty just from sitting, but they were fine. But the spark plug wires don't look good at all. Oh, let me turn the fuel on at the carburetor. It is leaking gas at the carburetor, so I'm not sure what that's about. I'll figure that out at some point, but I do have a little bit of spark now. It's still weak, even after cleaning the spark plug wires and the distributor cap and all that. It's still weak, but it was there. So let's see if that's enough. And now our battery's dead. Of course it is. We're dead in the water until we get a battery. All right, guys, I do have a different battery hooked up now. And just so everyone knows, you can't see the battery here because I actually don't have the battery inside the tractor. I have it just sitting on a stool over here on this side of the tractor. So that's fine. So let's try this again. Weak spark, but let's give it a shot. I'm already coming across. I'll top that off in a little bit. I don't want to open it right now. So I know I'm leaking here from the power steering pump, at least some, because I'm seeing a little bit of fluid there. Now where it's coming from, I'm not 100% sure. My worst case scenario would be it's leaking from that front seal, which would be unfortunate because I did replace that front seal. So, but I could have enough wear in that shaft that it might not want to seal it up. And then I'm not sure what the deal is on my power steering. It seems to want to work, but it's not functioning right now. I mean, it's trying to, these wheels aren't turning. I feel like I'm coming up against some resistance. So not 100% sure what's going on there. I'm gonna have to just do some investigating and try to figure it out. Maybe research how these things work exactly. I do have a little bit of leaking, I think right around there. Not 100% sure. I still have weak spark. I can tell I have weak spark, that it's running a little bit choppy when I run it a little bit higher. So. Well, you seen there I was able to get the steering sorted. I made a very rookie error. On the other side, I think in one of the videos, I don't remember which, when I was doing the hydraulic hoses for the power steering, I mentioned the upper port goes to the outside line on your cylinder, on your steering rod cylinder. The lower port goes to your inner. Well, I had it right on this side, but on the other side I had managed to switch it. I don't know how my eyes got crossed or something when I was doing it, I don't know. But that's why when I was turning this, it seemed like I was getting, well, you couldn't feel it, but I could feel it in the steering wheel. I was getting a lot of resistance. So I knew something's not right. I thought maybe I messed something up in the power steering pump. Thankfully, I didn't. I ended up deciding, well, I'll just trace my lines, make sure I haven't crossed the line. I did cross the line on the other side. So once I made that switch, I put a little bit of fluid in the pump, because when I disconnected those lines, a ton of fluid came out. Not such a bad thing though. I mean, it was kind of flushing the system a little bit inside. So anyways, now it does work appropriately, or at least I think it does. I don't see any leaks, although admittingly, when I had the two sides opposing one another, the pressure was probably quite a bit increased, and so I had popped a few leaks in a few places. After I fixed those, and I did tighten those, this one here and then one on the other side as well, I didn't have any leaks after that. So hopefully it'll stay that way. I think I am still probably getting a drop or two. Well, maybe not. That would be great. Maybe I had the pressure so high that it was throwing a little bit of oil out there. I don't see any oil coming from the pump right now, so that would be a great thing if I didn't have any leaking out that front seal. So right now I think this power steering is sorted. I do think it seems to be running. It's probably difficult for you here. Don't get me wrong, it runs good. I mean, I can rev it up, it sounds great. But it does sound like it might be missing just a little bit. So these are not solid steel core wire. These are that graphite wire plugs, and I don't think those are recommended for these old tractors, these old machines. I think the solid core wire is, and I'm out in the country, so I'm not worried about radio frequency interference and that kind of thing. So I do think I'll order a set of those. If not, if I can't find someplace that sells solid core, I'll end up just making some, using some, it's an airplane, it's what they use on airplanes. I can't remember the name of it, but it's solid core wire, and that's the important part. So So other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. I did play a little bit with the timing. I just advanced it and brought it back, and that didn't seem to help a whole lot with the pop, 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 popping sound that I'm hearing, that I think may be a miss. It also could just be a weak coil, who knows? This is the original coil on it. But anyways, overall, I think pretty successful. I was really, really discouraged when I was having issues with the power steering. Oh, but thankfully that wasn't a problem. Once I got those lines sorted, everything seems to be working just as it should. So that's a big, big relief, because I was thinking I'm gonna have to pull that pump.
Hey guys, this is Chris, and if you're enjoying this video and enjoying me driving this little 550, make sure you hammer that like button. It helps the channel out a lot and lets me know that it's something you enjoy. Until the next video, we're going to be putting decals on this thing next time and get the grill put on and really dress it up and make it look good. So thanks for watching.